Hey, it's Ryan from Upfit Supply, and in this video we're going to be unboxing some DuraTherm ceiling liners for our RAM ProMaster 159-inch wheelbase high roof. Let's get into it. All right, like I mentioned, this is the ceiling liners for the RAM ProMaster 159-inch regular wheelbase with high roof. That is the most important thing you need to take into consideration if you're going to order these, is make sure you know your specs, your wheelbase and your roof height. Otherwise, a liner is gonna be too short, or it's gonna be too long, or you're gonna get shipped the wrong thing. So make sure you figure out the wheelbase and the roof height. For us, we've got the 159 regular, so behind that rear wheel, we have the regular body length. They also make an extended version, so the liners are gonna be different depending on which van you have. Now, as you can see, this is a giant box because the liners are huge. They're like panels covering a portion of a vehicle, so they have to be shipped in these large boxes on a pallet, LTL freight, so just take that into consideration. We try to make that as affordable as possible when shipping these things across the country, but LTL freight is more money than just your standard UPS, FedEx shipment. These are also heavy. I think this is probably about 45 pounds or so. So again, heavy, large objects have to be shipped on a pallet. The good news is about that is a lot of times it shows up less damage than if it was shipped via UPS. So this is the ceiling liner panel. So it's just those panels that are going to cover the ceiling in the vehicle. If you're looking for walls and doors, those are sold separately. And I say this in every video, but the reason that we do that is because not every upfit is the same. Not every upfit needs ceilings or doors or what have you. And so you buy those separately. Look for that red ribbon because your hardware is going to be attached to that. This is push-in clips. It looks like that might be everything that you need for this installation, but we'll talk about that later. And I'm going to set this off to the side so I can easily pull these out. I'm just going to pull out some of these smaller components real quick so you can get an idea. This is a joiner strip, so you connect. There's going to be more than one panel in there for the ceiling, and so it's really to connect one ceiling panel to the other so you have that seamless look across the ceiling. This is included. It's the same gray color as the liner. And then we also have this bracket here, two of them, with self-adhesive tape on the back. I'm not 100% sure what these are used for. It might be for the ceiling sills, I'm not sure, but make sure you watch the install video to see how we use these in the install for the RAM ProMaster. I'm just gonna set this off to the side so it's not in the way. All right, our first and largest ceiling panel right here. It's got two folds in it. And one thing I just want to point out before I get unfolding this, as you can see, this is the DuraTherm liner. It's got the layer of insulation on the back. So this is a layer of foil, and then there's some black insulation material behind it. And then you have your 1/4-inch corrugated plastic behind that. Another thing, I think you can see it. I'm not quite sure if you can see that in the overhead camera or not, but there's scoring on the back of these liners. So there's a lot of different configurations of vans, and they have a lot of different options. Sometimes there's like foam up near the headliner, or you got dual sliding doors or something like that. And so to accommodate those different options in the van, Legend basically gives you as much material as possible and then gives you scoring to cut away the material that you don't need, because quite frankly, it's a lot easier to take away material than it is to add it back later. So this scoring here, this is probably towards the front or the back, I'm not quite sure, but it's probably for like a foam block. I know there's some foam blocks in the front of ours that we're probably just gonna remove because I don't like the look of it. But it's pre-scored right here, so you're just gonna take a razor blade and cut that out if you need to. So as we unfold this, you can see we just have a giant gray panel right here. It is precision cut to the contour of the ceiling. We got our holes right here that are gonna line up with our cross members in the ceiling, and they're all big holes, which means we're gonna take those plastic push-in clips and you just push them into the holes. You're gonna take a rubber mallet and secure those in place. So super easy installation. The hardest part is just getting someone to help you hold this up there so you can line everything up and get those push-in clips in place. So this is our first ceiling liner, and I think there's just one more panel for the rear portion of the van. Yes, so here we have another panel. Again, I think this is for the rear of the van, and I don't want to say that. So again, I think this is for the rear portion of the van. I'm not exactly sure if it connects like this or if it's the other way around. I think it's like this because we've got a little cutout right here that I believe is for the latch for the doors. Don't quote me on that, I could be wrong. So again, this is where you're gonna take this joiner strip and you're going to attach two of these liners together. So you get one seamless liner up there. And you know, this is more of an insulation tip than anything. You want to peel away a little bit of this insulation so you can fit that liner in there. It's a nice and snug fit within this joiner strip, and then you're going to cut it to fit. There is another piece of paper in the middle of this box. I'm going to see if I can get it out. And the last thing in our box was just this one little sheet. It's a parts list of everything that's included in the box. So we got sealing piece A, sealing piece B, joiner strip, and our hardware. There are no installation instructions included in the box because simply they would just get shredded by the material in there. So there is a QR code. You want to take your phone, go into camera mode and scan that, open that link, and it's going to give you the latest installation instructions for your van. We're also going to be installing this in the one behind us, so you'll be able to watch that video as well. Now, like I mentioned, this is the DuraTherm liner, so we have the insulation, then we have our corrugated plastic. This is the textured gray color, so there's a textured finish on here. It's also available in white, which I have a sample right here to show you. This is the white color. There's no texture on it. It's just that smooth finish on top. It's almost a little bit translucent. If I hold it up to a light, I can kind of see the insulation behind it. So this is going to give you that bright white color in the back of the van if you want that. Gray is definitely a lot more popular, so we have a lot more of it in stock. White, we rarely have it in stock, but you can get it. There's just an extra 3 to 5 day lead time or whatever we're looking like for that time of year. Now, this part of the kit is, we make it optional on our website. It is the ceiling sills. You can buy the ceiling liners without these sills, or you can get it with the sills. We give you that option. And it comes in an additional box like this. These are aluminum diamond plate sills. I'm just gonna open this real quick for you. All right, here we go, our sills package. You can see these are pretty big and pretty long because that's just the design of the RAM ProMaster. The way they have those top corners, you need to have a larger sill like this. So that's probably why they're a little bit more expensive. You can see we get our hardware kit here. We have a little joiner plate in this hardware kit. So you're going to be connecting two sills together with a piece like this. It's pre-drilled on the back of these sills. Let me just open these up. So we have, looks like shorter line or shorter sill here, a couple of pieces here, shorter sill here, and then we have two longer sills right here. So you must do something differently, maybe over that sliding door on the side with the sills. If you want to take a look at how this installation is going to happen, we're going to shoot that installation video here shortly of installing the ceiling liners with sills in the back of our RAM ProMaster. But these just provide a nice seamless transition between your wall liner and your ceiling liner. Otherwise, you're going to have like this gap in between your wall liner and your ceiling liner, where essentially there's some extrusion or embossment in the vehicle where it kind of comes out in the corner there. It's just gonna be open cavities right there in the corners of the van. This covers that all up, gives you a nice finished look in the back of the van. The rest of the installation hardware is just self-threading screws. So these actually thread right into either the liner or sometimes into the sheet metal in the van, depending on the location and where it needs to attach. But installation is super simple. You just need a drill with a Phillips head on it to install these in place. Now, if you're looking for these liners and sills or any other equipment to upfit your van so that it's work ready, be sure to check us out at upfitsupply.com. Again, my name is Ryan, and have a good one.